Hey, what's up? How y'all been? Yeah, I know this one. I gotta talk about it. Tekashi 6ix9ine is home, and I say it's about time. I think that the judge, for all the snitching that he did, all the information that he gave up, I think the judge should have released him at sentencing because I say that because, you know, even though nobody don't want to put themselves in them shoes, I do look at myself as if I was in his shoes and I did all that goddamn snitching and telling on people and taking everybody down and everybody getting, you know, like double digits or whatever the situation is. Get me the fuck out of this jail. You know what I'm saying? Right now. Not now, but right now. And if the judge would have said, oh, you're going to be disappointed, like the judge said, if you thought you was going home right now, I would have cursed him out right then and there. Do you see how many niggas I just took down? I took down a whole blood posse from Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? Of all boroughs, I took down, you know, a bunch of, you know, heavy hitters. You know what I'm saying? Big guys and stuff like that. You're going to have me in here locked up with them? Where they could send word back and forth to somebody that's bringing me my food tray or some way or the other. I don't know where they had him locked up at. I'm quite sure they had him somewhere safe and isolated from everybody else. But, you know, even though all that talking, if I did all of that talking and telling and all of that stuff and giving up all of that information, let me out of this jail right now. So I understand why the attorney kept pushing. You know what I'm saying? The attorney kept pushing, just like with Meek Mill, his attorney kept pushing because they knew, you know, something ain't right. This ain't right. We could get out of this one. You know, if you have a good attorney, instead of them just accepting what the judge say, you know, they fight in a very professional way and bring all kind of issues, any little thing that they can figure out, like, oh, he got asthma, you know what I'm saying? But his asthma probably, he probably wasn't locked up near too many people to be in contact with somebody with the coronavirus. I don't think where they had him at, you know, but it's a good excuse. And it was a good argument because they letting everybody else loose. I think they let one of his gang members, Kuda B or somebody. You know, I don't know all those guys and all those guys' names and stuff like that. I'm not doing that kind of talking when it come down to my channel. Like, I know everybody and I know everything about everybody. I don't. You know what I'm saying? But when I seen that, I said they let that Kuda B guy go because of the coronavirus, and in some other states and stuff like that, they was letting guys go. Some guys was, you know, breaking out of jail and doing stuff like that. So originally the judge said no. Well, you know, no, because I guess he didn't feel like he had the jurisdiction to you know, make that decision. And it was with the Bureau of Prisons or something like that. But anyway, they bounced it back to the judge, and the judge said, okay, or whatever the situation is. I guess the judge at that point, you know, even though they saying that they released him on the fact of his asthma and the coronavirus is a good excuse, but the judge might have also rethought about his sentencing and continuing to let Tekashi 6ix9ine stay in that jail after all of the guys that he took down. You know what I'm saying? That maybe his original decision, I think, tagged on to the fact that he has asthma and the coronavirus is out there. I think he rethought about that decision of not releasing him at that first sentencing. You understand what I'm saying? Because whatchamacallit, he took a lot of guys down. I like I said again, you know, if I put myself in his shoes, and Tekashi, if you listening and stuff like that, you know, if I was in your shoes, I know just how you felt about the situation. after you gave them all of that information about everybody and took everybody down, that should have been an automatic release right there. You know what I'm saying? No debating. You know what I'm saying? I really thought that they was going to release you at that point. So if you listening and stuff like that, but even though this coronavirus came through and saved your motherfucking ass and stuff like that, the only thing that you have to do now, since you're not in the witness protection, is you have to make sure you don't ever let your guards down. You know what I'm saying? Because you ran around and you did, you challenged every gangster in every state and everybody. You understand what I'm saying? And you didn't really get touched. You had a little scuffle at the Lax airport or whatever the situation is, but you really didn't get touched. But I want to tell you, while you was locked up, the Pop Smoke guy, came up and came through from Brooklyn and stuff like that. And his music was all about the gangster stuff too. And look how quick. I think he was Cuban. But he looked like fully black and stuff like that. But I think he was Cuban. But look how fast they took him out. And I don't really know what the situation was about the Pop Smoke situation, why they took that boy out so young and so fast and stuff like that. They say jealousy and stuff like that. But then at the same time, he also a vehicle that was loaned to him, he took it across state lines and changed the plates and everything on it, like I guess like if he was stealing it or something like that. But he didn't need to do that because his talent, his style and everything like that, he was going to be on top of the game. He already jumped up on top of the game like in no time, like in a year's time or less. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but he and I immediately followed him on Instagram, and I don't, go following everybody and every celebrity and stuff like that. But, his sound, I really liked it. His little swag and stuff like that, his little dance and everything. I really liked it. But what I couldn't understand was that, how did, California let, Tekashi 6ix9ine, how did they let you get away with so much stuff? And they immediately took, the black boy out, you know what I'm saying? They immediately took the dark-skinned boy out. Is that some kind of prejudice, racist, or black-on-black violence, and they don't touch the Puerto Ricans type shit? You understand what I'm saying? Like, they didn't let him get away with nothing. Like, they caught up with him immediately and stuff. He was singing all that stuff, about being outside and all that stuff, and his name was Pop Smoke and all that stuff like that. But I also look at him. You see the bags under my eye. You see I'm not young. You see, I'm an older lady and stuff, so he could be like my son. You understand what I'm saying? So I look at him like a baby and stuff like that. They didn't let that baby get away with anything. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, he gonna come out and I don't know what he did in his life. That's the other thing. I'm long-winded, so y'all gotta excuse me. I'm not sure what Pop Smoke may have done, but anything that he had probably done is mostly in Brooklyn. The only thing that he did in California was didn't return that vehicle back, and maybe those guys did it or whatever. They don't even know who did what or whatever the situation is. But I think he wasn't moving 100%. Welcome to the party. He was having welcome to the party parties and stuff like that. Like, come on in, we're having a party. You know what I'm saying? Not watching his back right, constantly on the internet so much where he was slipping and stuff like that and showing his address and where he was at and everything like that. So we still don't know. We still trying to find out about that information, but he was a very hot talent. But let's get back to you, Tekashi 6ix9ine. I don't know why you got away with so much stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, was it the team that you had behind you or whatever the situation is? You know what I'm saying? And, they found out you was with some serious people or whatever. So they was kind of like hands off. Or maybe some people was already skeptical that you might had the feds, you might have been affiliated with law enforcement while you was doing everything, because who does all of that internet? Everything that you did was on the internet. Ordered to hit on Chief Keef and all that stuff on the internet and all that stuff like that. Everything was on the internet. It was a very exciting time when you was around, and it's been a little boring since you've been gone. You know what I'm saying? But I would like to see what you're up to now. You know what I'm saying? And how you gonna win the people over? Is people really gonna care? Like, other than like Brooklyn, I guess the Brooklyn crew, Brooklyn gangs, or that 9K or whatever, them guys that, if there's any more of them, if they didn't fully break apart, the rest of them guys is probably, but I mean, you got it worldwide or whatever the situation is. I mean, other artists, are they gonna want to come near you? Are they gonna, this is what we have to come to see, who's going to be working with you. Are they still going to be willing to work with you? You understand what I'm saying? How they feel about your strategy. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know. You let all of them tough talking niggas say what they want to say or whatever the situation is. But if I'm a millionaire and I'm a famous person, and I could get back to my, rich life, I think I would. I think I would. That's why I don't join no gangs. You know what I'm saying? I don't join no gangs. I had my run in the street, my years in the street and stuff like that, but I never joined no gangs and stuff like that. I always moved solo. You know what I'm saying? I had one other friend or whatever the situation is and stuff like that, close friend, and, If I had some dirt to do, I would rather do it by myself. But I didn't do all of that dirty work in the streets or anything like that anyway. But I don't know. We'll just see what you got to come. But we did hear about some kind of movie deal. We did hear something about 50 Cent wanting to be the one that produced your movie or whatever the situation is, because it's gonna be good, because you was an exciting guy and everything like that. So your movie is gonna be good, but how's your music gonna be? And that's the big question. How's your music? What are you going to talk about? What are you going to rap about? Are you going to rap hard? Are you going to keep it real? Or are you going to tell us why you snitched and stand behind it and continue to talk gangster? Because to me, I think a snitch like Alp on them, and you and what's the name? John Gotti's right hand man and all that stuff. I think you have extra heart, you know what I'm saying? Mainly the ones that don't go on witness protection, that's like extra gangster, because now you snitched on everybody going to jail and stuff like that, and you're going to be out here with no witness protection, hiring your own security or whatever the situation is, but the feds will probably still be watching, because once they start watching, they don't ever get off your case, okay? So, I think that's extra hard. To me, people might look at you like a snitch or whatever the situation is, but now, like, Alpo is walking the streets of Harlem. I guess there's nobody alive or nobody who wants to pull up on him. They showed some video with some motorcycles, and he was on a motorcycle. He was out there signing autographs, and, he came back to his fame because maybe he wasn't a rapper or whatever the situation is, but when I was younger, he did have, like, street drug dealing a name, you know what I'm saying? He had a name that stretched through the streets, word of mouth, you understand what I'm saying? Without the media, you know what I'm saying? So not until that movie did I really find out about everything else that was going on with Alpo, but all of my friends was like claiming him, like, that they was messing with him and that was their man and all that stuff. I was like, you mess with Alpo, the big guy in Harlem and stuff like that? Girl, you crazy, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, I wouldn't want to do no time. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't. You know, if I was in a gang and they took all of us down and shit like that, I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to do no time. And like with Nikki Barnes, they said that they was somebody was sleeping with his wife, with his girl or whatever, so that's why he snitched. So Tekashi 6ix9ine, they saying that somebody was sleeping with your baby mama, so that's why you snitched and all that stuff like that. So I don't know why, but the main reason I understand why is because you don't want to be sitting in no motherfucking jail, and you know you could be out here making millions and stuff like that. But the internet and clout chasing or whatever you call it and all that stuff, you know, and showing off made you do a lot of activity in front of the cameras and stuff like that. So, you know, it was crazy. Then when you was going to leave your team, you know, that management team or whatever the situation is, you know, they had Jim Jones and all of them on the tap lines stating that, you know, I forgot what the little quote Jim Jones said. I forgot what that was. What did they say? You gotta be touched or something. Jim Jones said. So it was crazy to hear what was going on behind your back from the tapes. And then, oh yeah, the kidnapping was crazy. You understand what I'm saying? So if those are the guys he was doing business with, and then they turn around and start robbing you and kidnapping you and all of that stuff like that, that's, you know, that was extra crazy. So that would give you an excuse to snitch, I would say. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not going to be fucking with them niggas anyway. You know, like, niggas be saying no snitching, but once the bus go down, once they bust your crew, once they bust your gang and stuff like that, and y'all all get locked up, I mean, are y'all really coming back out to the streets 15 and 20 years later, doing a 15 or 20 year bid or whatever bid you got? Are you really coming back out to the same guys? Like, you're not coming back out to the same guys? No way. I wouldn't come back out to the same guys that I got busted with and stuff like that anyway. So, I don't know. I know people going to be like listening to me like, this bitch is crazy and, you know, stupid, like she condones snitching. No, I don't really condone snitching, but my thing is that I don't really condone gang activity because what I've witnessed from the Bloods and the Crips in New York, coming from California, I'm not sure if that's how California operates, but here in New York, I noticed, instead of them fighting with the opposition, I noticed a lot of harassment, you know, like bothering people in front of the building, like standing in front of the building, standing in the way, you know, looking people up and down, being intimidating to your people in your building that you live in your neighborhood. Like, you brought together a whole gang just to stand in front of the building and scare the old ladies and the kids going to school and stuff like that. That's what I witnessed from it and stuff like that. And the whole gang bullying up on like one person that's probably not in the gang like me, you know what I'm saying? And you know, if I have a problem with one person, I'm looking at the rest of the people like, y'all niggas don't even know me. You understand what I'm saying? So how could you pass judgment on me to act out against me? So that's why I can't do the gang thing, because I can't just join together and do what everybody else say or do what the leader said. I'm my own. I want to be my own leader. I want to be my own decision maker. Okay, so that's as far as with the gang activity. So Tekashi 6ix9ine, you know, I think it's about time. I think they should have released you at your sentencing because of all of the talking that you did and all of the guys that you took down. And I'm not saying for the rest of the people, I'm not saying that it's right. That was just his strategy, and he's home. That was his strategy, and he's home. Now he's got to watch his back, and you got to do business and fly straight and keep a clear head. Watch out for your family. You understand what I'm saying? And you just can't like let your guards down with no niggas and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Um, but it's crazy how fast they took out Pop Smoke. I don't know what he had got into or whatever the situation is, but that was quick, and he was young. You know what I'm saying? And the only thing I could think about after seeing the news, I was like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? One minute I'm dancing, his little dance to the song and stuff, and then the next minute, this nigga is like dead. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, that was quick. And then I started thinking about Tekashi 6ix9ine. He did a lot of shit. And he talked a lot of shit and challenged a lot of people and went out to Chicago and did all kind of stuff like that, and they didn't catch up to him. So what the hell did Pop Smoke do? You know what I'm saying? Like, how did Tekashi get away with it? So that's why I say he probably would be all right without the witness protection and using his money. He won't have to use a bulk of money for security or whatever the situation is, and they're probably going to have to be law enforcement people. You know what I'm saying? Probably going to have to be law enforcement people. Yeah, because he took so many people down. And so people's going to be wondering, where's his house arrest taking place at? Is it taking place in New York City? Where's the home arrest going to be taking place at? I know it definitely ain't in Brooklyn, you know what I'm saying? But that's probably like some of the questions that people have. Where's the home arrest going to be taking place? And is it safe to try Tekashi 6ix9ine if you do happen to find out? Because this internet is like smart. Like, they find out where people live. If you check me, you could easily find out where I live. You can find out where anybody's at and stuff like that. You ain't got to flash no address or nothing like that. Motherfuckers just, Google or whatever the situation is, or however they trace or whatever the situation is, and it's easy to find, people's address and stuff like that. So if they find out where he's at, is it safe to try him? Because if you try him, then your ass is going to be going to jail, because it would be like premeditated, and I don't know what the legal definition of it is, but interfering with the federal, the feds or whatever the situation is, the Fed program or whatever, or he wouldn't be in the witness protection program, but with his deal, with his federal deal and stuff like that, if they find out that you fucked with him, or you tried to do something to him, you probably get triple digits, you know what I'm saying? Or you probably you might, who knows? They said somebody was trying Zimmerman, and they got 20 years. So if they think you purposely going after somebody behind a case or something like that, you definitely gonna get a lot of time and find yourself in jail and stuff like that. So I would think everybody better just stay far away from him. Yeah, the guys who got locked up, y'all just go ahead and do your time. And this time when y'all do come back out, whatchamacallit, fly straight, do legal business or whatever the situation is, because if y'all would have did that thing right the first time, none of this would have came about, because the talent was there, so the money was coming. You understand what I'm saying? The money was coming in, so I don't see what was all of the street shit for. You know what I'm saying? That's for these poor niggas out here that ain't got no talent or nothing like that, ain't got no job or nothing like that. That's for them. Why why would you be heading up into rich and famous and doing that stuff? You know what I'm saying? Niggas just can't leave the streets alone. I understand it. Niggas just can't leave the streets alone. They just gotta be like, you know, trying to be thugging all the time, you know? And I guess that was a part of his come up, you know, the being in the blood gang or whatever the situation is, waving the red flag and all that stuff like that. I guess, you know, worldwide with all the Bloods and stuff like that would automatically give you a certain amount of following or whatever the situation is. I guess that's why you gotta do that. So, what would he rap about if he continues to rap? You know, my thing, I would think what he would rap about continue to be exciting like he was before, and maybe explain itself through the music. I snitched because this, that, or the other. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, what else could you do? You know, like those guys was messing with my woman. You know, y'all know the story. Y'all seen the deal. You know what I'm saying? I was kidnapped. You know, whatever the situation is. I don't know how he gonna go about that shit. You know what I'm saying? But that shit is crazy. So, I'm always picking a topic so that I could send across like a message and stuff like that. So to all the kids that have not joined a gang and you're thinking about joining a gang, let this right here show you, help you make your decision, because somebody is going to snitch. And with the conspiracy and everything like that, I keep saying it in every video, you know, with the conspiracy and everything, you don't have to be the one that did the dirt. You know what I'm saying? You could just be affiliated with, you know what I'm saying? And all the on camera talking about your gang affiliation and stuff like that, you know, you're already telling the feds that you're affiliated so that they don't have to now try to find evidence about that, because you're already saying it on camera, you're already waving your flag and all of that stuff like that. So think twice about joining the gang, because if you want to, you know, if you take how I go about things, or how I was when I was in the streets and stuff like that, if you're going to do dirt, do you really want somebody to see you do it? Do you want to be with a whole bunch of people to do it? If you have to really do something, don't you want to sneak around and do it by yourself and run away and don't get caught and nobody's there, nobody's seen you do it? Well, you hope nobody's seen you do it. Well, in these times, they got a lot of cameras. You know, when I was younger, they didn't have all of these cameras and cell phones and stuff like that to record everything, so you probably get busted anyway. But just fly straight. You could do legal business. You know, I'm a real estate broker also. You know what I'm saying? I just learned today that they changed it from a non-essential business to an essential business, because Cuomo had it where, you know, real estate brokers and agent, I'm a real estate broker, that that was a non-essential business. So that stopped all the apartment renting and house showing and sales and stuff like that. So now we back up and running and jumping, you know. So if you in New York and you own property, and you want to sell property or rent any apartment units or own a building, just comment below, hit me up, you know. My company is Best Buy Homes Realty. Okay, about the coronavirus. It got, like, the hospitals is crowded. You know, I seen videos with a lot of body bags. You know, they don't want no visitors. So I don't want no parts right now of no hospitals. And, you know, I want to say, you know, I keep apple cider vinegar and garlic and all that stuff like that, and lemons in my house and stuff like that. So be prepared with that stuff, you know. Get your home remedies together. And So because they picking and choosing who they want to who they want to help out, and who they're gonna they're not gonna help, and who's gonna live and who's gonna die. you know they making that judgment, like this person, we're going to put them on a ventilator, we're going to take care of them, give them the antibiotics. This person over here, we're going to send them back home, or we're going to leave them here, lay them here, and just waiting to die and stuff like that. So I would say have your home remedies and stuff like that. But before that, don't leave out the house without your mask. Get a mask, or just the scarf that you wear around your head, wear it around your mouth. I wouldn't say use one of the blue or the red, no gang colors or whatever the situation is. But if you don't have a mask, put a scarf around your mouth and your nose, and don't take it off till you come home. And make sure you wash your hands and stuff like that, And so, yeah, if you get the coronavirus and they send you home, then you gotta try not to you gotta quarantine. You gotta try to stay isolated away from your family and stuff like that, so that they don't get it. A lot of people live in apartments and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? So in close quarters and stuff like that, and they saying that the coronavirus is airborne. So it's going to be hard if they send you home and you got people and kids and stuff like that live. All the kids is home from school and stuff like that. It's going to be hard to not infect other people. So keep a mask on at all times. Wash your hands as soon as you come in the door. So when you come in the door from the streets, make sure you go immediately to the sink. Because like one time I forgot, you know what I'm saying? I came in from the street and I went shopping and putting packages away and stuff like that, and forgot to wash my hands and stuff like that. And I said I'll never do that again because it freaked me out. You know what I'm saying? Now when I go shopping, I wipe my package, I wash my hands, I wipe all the packages down, because I know other people been touching over shit in the supermarket. So I wipe the packages down before I put them in the refrigerator and everything. I done did about 5 shoppings already. You understand what I'm saying? And this is more than the norm. You know what I'm saying? So, and I've been eating a lot. My face is all fat, getting fat, gaining weight, and all of that stuff like that. But, that's okay. It sounds like, why is people saying, wash your hands? Like, people don't know how to wash their hands, and like somebody don't know how to wear a mask or whatever the situation is. What's she talking about? Keep repeating that shit and stuff like that. It's because, like some people is doing stupid shit. Did you see the video? I think it's on World Star with the lady on the train. And she had on her gloves that she wore all day, and she was eating her food. She was eating the food. I think it was McDonald's, eating fries or whatever, throwing fries in her mouth with dirty gloves on the train. First of all, I would never eat on the train. That's nasty. That's the trains to me is the New York rats home. You would never be able to kill all the rats that are down. I used to work in the subway. I had a little contract, when I was doing cleaning contracts. I had a little contract down in Metro. I think it was Metro North, where you go down, like it's underneath. It's, all the way down. And, nobody don't even try to kill a rat down there. They don't even try to kill them. They just let them run wild. So, the trains and the tracks and all that stuff like that, it belongs to the rats. If the rats don't own nothing else, they own the subways and stuff like that. So I wouldn't eat on in no subway car. I'm quite sure they might be sweeping it. I don't see them wiping down benches or nothing like that. They probably do sometime, but so people is doing stupid shit. People is doing stupid shit. So this virus it might stick around for some time, because some people, they doing stupid shit. They act like they don't know how to keep clean and keep their mouth covered and like they wasn't raised with manners, like they cough out and sneeze out instead of covering their mouth and stuff like that. So now we got to stay 6 feet apart from each other and all kind of stuff. 2 people in the store at a time. I went up Gun Hill Road, all the stores and even the grocery store, the corner store is closed and all of that stuff like that. All that stuff is closed. So, some restaurants are still open, but even my favorite restaurant, I didn't go in there to eat. McDonald's is having regular customers. McDonald's is very busy. They didn't stop, the McDonald's haven't stopped at all. I think they might be letting a few people in at a time because people wasn't stopping, sitting down, and they have them like metal chairs or whatever the situation is. So they stopped letting so many people in at a time, and they got their drive-through going and stuff like that. But you don't know, the people that's serving your food might have coronavirus, and you taking the package and all that stuff, and your food they done talked over and all of that stuff, and you eating that shit in this time and stuff like that. I've been home making meals. I hate to cook and stuff like that, but when I do cook, I cook healthy and I cook good, you know what I'm saying? And I enjoy eating my meals and stuff like that, but I never cooked so much at home as I did in the last couple of weeks. I usually go out, get me some Jamaican food, jerk chicken, and all of that stuff like that they have up here. A lot of Jamaican restaurants and stuff like that, but everything slowed down. Definitely the Chinese restaurant and the deliveries is not coming like they used to come through here, So, with that said, I guess I'm gonna be ending this out. I don't want to be too long-winded with it because I want y'all to, I want a lot of people to look at this a video. So, this video was about Tekashi 6ix9ine. So if you're listening, stay safe. Oh yeah, and get a psychiatrist. You know what I'm saying? Get with a psychiatrist. Let them have a psychiatrist come to your home arrest or whatever the situation is. The doctor come through there because I think you're gonna need it. If you're allowed to get on the internet, I don't see why not. But if you're allowed to look at the internet and look and see what's going on or whatever the situation is, you're going to see a lot of people talking, popping shit, you know what I'm saying, about you being a snitch and like they would never do it and stuff like that. But those are people that wasn't put in that situation yet where, the judges are saying, you're going to get like 45, you're facing 45, you know what I'm saying? Them niggas don't even want to do 10. Them niggas don't even want to do 5. They just know that they not going to be in that situation. They not doing shit to ever be in that situation. Or, they just talking shit for now, you know what I'm saying? But I know I wouldn't want to be in jail. So I just stay away from that shit altogether. So get a psychiatrist because you're gonna need it from all of this shit they're gonna be talking about you on the internet. They're gonna feel like you didn't live by the code of the streets. You wasn't gangster enough. You folded and all of that stuff. You bended and all of that stuff like that. But I guess you played the game the way you wanted to play the game, and you're free. You know what I'm saying? So and. They all gonna be coming after you about those contracts and the movie deals and stuff like that. They're not gonna be biased with you about that. You know what I'm saying? So, so see a psychiatrist because you're never gonna hear the end of this and stuff like that. And I'm not saying what you did was right, but you home mighty fast, you know what I'm saying? And just be careful out here, be safe. For the families, if anybody is listening from, the families of the guys that got arrested, that was, gang members, your family members was in a gang and stuff like that, and these are the things that happen. Luckily they ended up in jail and not in the grave and stuff like that, so you will be able to see them again. So if you like my content, if you like how I, explain things, I know I'm long-winded and stuff like that, for saying simple shit or whatever, but like and subscribe. I'm trying to get more subscribers and stuff like that, so, I could be going live and all of that stuff like that. So subscribe to my channel, please, and you like this video. And I'm out. I don't want to go any longer. It was supposed to be 30 minutes. I went 40. So peace. I'm out. Stay safe and leave the gangs alone. Period.